What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm just going to do a quick update on this thing, my Trans Am, aka the Red Hot Trans Am. On the last video on this, I went over the cowl delete and how I did that. I didn't have very good lighting, so I couldn't really show you. It was a really bad video. So I'm going to go ahead and go over it again and show you what I did. And we'll also go over the firewall that I have done, where I deleted the HVAC system and a few other holes in here. And then we're going to go over the next step and what I'm going to do to this thing. So here we go. Now that we have more light, you can see that I have run this and how I did it. So this is a straight edge right here that I cut, and I just followed that line with the hammer trick that I showed you. And then I had to make this entire corner. I don't really care for how it kind of swoops up a little bit here, but it was either make this flat and then this would be different than this side, and that would bug me. So I just went ahead and went with both sides being the same and then dealt with this. This was fine. And maybe down the road I'll probably do maybe a switch or something here for lights under here, but that's down the road. And then you see this plate. And I just kind of put it up there and threw some tacks up it, and then just sat it up on top of this, where this is a nice straight edge. Made sure it was all nice and level and whatnot, so it looks very straight, not crooked, and doesn't look like dog poop. So yeah. Then I went over the HVAC system. Now a lot of guys will take the HVAC system out and they just get a delete plate, which I have one. I used to run a delete plate on this, and this one right here is what I had, minus the holes I filled in it. But this is BMR aluminum delete plate. Kind of sat right like that in there, most part. And it worked, it did its job. I liked it, but at the same time, you've seen the bolt holes, you've seen where it had to bolt in and whatnot. And even though I painted it to match the rest of the engine bay, it still didn't look all that great, and I didn't like it. So I wanted to go ahead and get rid of it completely and make this whole firewall just nice and smooth for the most part. So I went ahead and cut all this down here, the whole thing just clear out basically, and then put a whole new piece in, and then tacked it all in. Right now I don't have it all the way ground smooth, and I don't even have all the tacks in quite yet, but I will get there eventually. But yeah, did that. So once that's all smoothed out and then do some body work there, it'll look nice and clean. I also did this. If anybody's ever had their motor out of their F-body, they know that this kind of recesses in, and that's where the HVAC system actually plugs not plugs in, but bolts to in here. I went ahead, when I took out the HVAC system, I just opened the hole up some more, and I ran my wiring harness through that hole to my motor, and it worked great. You didn't see the wiring or anything where it was coming from, but it was kind of janky in my opinion. I mean, you didn't see it, but I knew it was there, kind of thing, and it bugged me. So we're gonna go ahead and what I've already done, and still this has got some nasty looking tacks on it actually. Yeah, I went ahead and did that. I'm going to smooth it all out, and then I'm going to put a bulkhead wiring harness deal, so that when I have my motor in here, and a lot of times when you got to pull a motor out, you got to unhook every single thing, like injectors and all that stuff from the motor before you can pull a motor out. But I'm going to go ahead and make it to where all I got to do is unhook it from the firewall, and I can yank the whole motor out with the harness and everything, and that'll make it just super simple and easy to work on, in my opinion. And then moving on, and then I went ahead and plugged up the old wiring harness. The factory wiring harness used to run right through this little spot here, and I actually had my intercooler cooling lines running through there, and it worked. They ran like kind of up and over, and then here was the intercooler right here, and it did the job. but another hole in the firewall. So I'm usually getting like all these little holes that are in the firewall is coming into the cab, and then when you're driving down the road sometimes, or sitting in an area, sometimes the fumes from, say, the exhaust would actually kind of roll up inside the cab a little bit, and it just smelled gassy or E85y, if that makes any sense. So the plan is to make everything no holes, completely sealed up, and not have to deal with that anymore. And yeah, that's the plan. I've got a few more holes up here, like this one. This is where I believe I had the harness run through to run the headlights and all that. So now I'm going to need a whole lot less wiring for the headlights now, because I'm redoing the headlights. I don't know if I've gone over it on another video or not. I think I did, but I can't remember. But here it is. So here are the old headlight mounts. So the old headlight mounts are actually RSM headlight mounts that you get with their front end kits that this is right here. I have modified this. This is not what they look like when you get it in the mail. There is a lot more to it, and it looks a whole lot better than how this is done. The guys at RSM do awesome work, and I try to order as much from them as I can, as well as like Motion Raceworks. Those are my main go-tos that I go to for parts for my high performance stuff. But yeah, back to this. I had to shorten this and really modify it because my intercooler is so big. It took up too much room, and it kind of... I can't really remember how it really sat. I don't know if it sat up higher or if it tilted in a little bit, but it wouldn't work with the intercooler. So I had to chop it up and move it forward, and also modify a few other things, like the headlights. And here are the headlights, or what's left of the headlights. As you can see, I had to cut those. I think I had to cut those. That might have been something else I had to do. I had to open this up, open that up, just so I could get it fitting good to where the intercooler fit nicely. And I went ahead and did that on both sides, so they'd look the same, because I cannot stand things that are not symmetrical at all. OCD, whatever you want to call it. That's my problem. So the new setup on the headlights, if I can pull it off, is to basically do the same thing, but without the flip-up headlights. I'm getting rid of the flip-up headlights. They bug me. I don't like them. But the cars don't look very good without the flip-up headlights. So we're kind of going to try to figure something out there to where it still looks like I had the flip-up headlights, but I don't. That makes sense? Yeah? Okay. What we're going to go ahead and do is basically going to take all this mount off. I'm going to get all new 3/4 inch Molly tubing here. And I'm going to make probably a bar that'll run off here, and probably a bar that runs off like here. So be straight. And then I'm going to take one of these. Not this, but this. This is your basic 4x6 universal headlight that you can get from Amazon or eBay or whatever. And the plan is to make it to where I can just bolt it in right here, and it won't be flipping up anymore. This is where it's going to sit always. What am I going to do with the flip-ups? How am I going to change that? So my plan is with that is I'm going to take these covers, actually. I'm going to unbolt these and make a whole new bracketry for this and for the covers. And that's all I'm using. I won't be using any of this, the motors. It's all going bye-bye. We're going to use the covers, make the brackets, and then we're going to make it, come back over here, and make it to where the cover will just clip on. So I'll have like 2 hooks down here that'll slide in, and then I'll have some quick latches that I run like on my hood. I don't have in here right now, but they basically have like a ball end like this. This is a quick latch deal here. The ball in there, and I'll take it to where you slide them in, and then they clip in here and there, probably like spaced out for say the headlights. So the headlight will be here, and then there'll be a quick latch here and a quick latch here. So whenever I need to take it off, I'll have to reach back here, hit the 2 buttons, and the whole cover comes off. Super simple. No more of the BS with the flip ups, the wiring, the control boxes, to all that. That's all going to be gone. So that'll be really nice. So those 4x6 headlights have highs and lows in them. So we don't need to use 2 different headlights now. So it'll all be on one. I make it nice. I'll probably go more in depth with it once I start actually building it, because I still haven't quite, I have an idea how I'm going to do it, but I still don't know if it'll work. So I guess we're going to do it together, see if we can figure it out or not. Just make something that works a little bit easier, I guess. Now, if I'm driving at night, say on drag week, and it's starting to get dark, I need lights, or I'm at a track where the lighting in the backside of the track is not the greatest, and I need lights, I'm going to put fog lights or some nice LEDs in the factory fog light ports for the front bumper. I'm going to put those in there so I can kick those on inside the car. They're not exactly street legal to drive around like that for headlights, so because otherwise I would just do that and use those as my headlights. Can't do that, so that's why we got to do those. So we'll do the those in there, we'll kick them on, we'll have lights until we get to a point where we can actually stop, pull the covers off, or if we're at the track we don't have to worry about taking covers off. So yeah, there's that. That's going to call it for this one. Just a quick update. I probably rambled on a little longer than I'd like to. If you guys like what you see, please like, subscribe, share it. It gives me motivation to keep going. I really want to knock this car out and get it back on the track, but I have to have motivation to do it, and if I don't have motivation, I'm just going to move on to another project and another project, and then this thing's going to sit. So like, subscribe, follow along, do whatever you got to do. Get this thing out there. Let's get some views, get some subscribers. I'm motivated right now, and I really appreciate when I see more subscribers and more likes and shares of my videos. Are they that good? Probably not, considering I'm just getting going on this, but hey, they're gonna get better, I'm sure, the more I get used to it. So that's gonna call it for this one, guys. I will see you guys later. Catch you on the next one.